Patrick Ricard also in the slot. Tyler Huntley out of his own end zone. 1 for 1 on the day to Tyreek Hill.
Down, every possession you got to get to the 50, this shorter field right to the yellow line. So let's give him a new set of downs here to be able to. Quarterbacks have 4 seconds to throw the football.
A lot of space. Nice. Start this thing early. Tyler Huntley with 4 seconds to complete, and he does. Our first touchdown in Vegas for Mark Andrews out of Baltimore. Payne saying we're going for 1, which will be from the 5-yard line. A 2-point conversion from the 10.
Guys took advantage of his opportunity this year in Seattle.
Saquon Barkley out of the backfield. Gino. Justin Jefferson. Saquon will show up. Gino on 3rd down. First down, George Kittle. Fear and loathing in Las Vegas. Kittle is in the end zone. We have our first big-time highlight of the Pro Bowl games.
They sat back in zone, and Ray Lewis has got to be frustrated by this from his defense. He had a couple guys there make a play. Ball gets out late, and right there you think that he's going to be brought down, but no. Great job of looking down, realizing he's not down, and Ray Lewis frustrated.
He was down 6 in the total scoring. The Harvard brain gets open. Kyle Juszczyk, fullback, Pro Bowl, standard operating procedure.
Bring him. There he comes.
And that is not we got 2-man pressure. Huntley makes the play. Devontae scrapes it off the ground. 4th and the NFC, they're choosing to play.
You're dialed in on the rules.
I'm telling you, there's a lot of them. I read them last night. Not a big reader. Huntley taking a shot. Jamar Chase, drop.
Yeah.
Could have got the first down. Just
Easily
pick up 3 yards.
Yeah, he took the shot.
I like the aggression, but now the NFC has the ball on the positive side of the field. Geno Smith with Dalvin Cook next to him. In rhythm. Dime, CD Lamb. This NFC team is on fire.
Look at it. The entire NFC team has left the bench to go out there and celebrate that catch by CD Lamb.
We're talking about conference supremacy. You don't think the NFC grittying all over the NFL doesn't want that $48,000 extra on this particular Pro Bowl game Sunday?
What a throw, and look at both feet down for CD Lamb. Insane. That execution, I don't care if it's practice, flag football, Sunday football. That was beautiful.
Got to put the ball where it needs to be. Geno did
practice at all. They have wristbands for their plays, and they look down and tells him what to do on each play. Stephon Diggs to his right.
Woolen traveling with Tyreek. 2 minutes left, first half. AFC down 7. Tyler Huntley rolls out of the pocket. Nice catch by Stephon Diggs on the side at the bottom. A lot of space.
A lot of space.
Tyler Huntley. Mark Andrews. 2nd touchdown of the day. The familiarity with Snoop pays off well for the AFC.
Ravens fans got to be loving seeing Huntley looking up the big tight end a couple times. Again, you can see that coverage once again down inside the 5-yard line. The NFC defense just kind of gets lost in coverage. Again, when you don't practice, it's kind of hard to figure out.
You'll see the center snaps the ball, take a knee, and do nothing else forever. Shout out to offensive linemen.
He wore it in the locker room, and then we came out and he took it off, and that really hurt my feelings. But yeah, my job is to just not be in the way. No!
I don't think you're in the way, Pete. Geno Smith with another long down to another tight end. This time, the Minnesota Viking T.J. Hawkinson.
Boy, the Iowa Hawkeyes can produce tight ends. We've seen George Kittle already make a play, and now T.J. Hawkinson, the Vikings. See, there's that one-on-one matchup. I think Matt Milano of the Bills a little bit surprised the ball came by him. He's one of the best covering linebackers in the game. Just kind of gave up on the play.
Not a good start. Who cares? I'll throw it again to Hawkinson. 7 points on the board quickly for this NFC team who can score, quick.
I think the AFC defense and Ray Lewis are going to go back to the drawing board right now. Their defense is struggling. This is a tough ask, by the way, to line up. We knew coming in that the defenses were at a major disadvantage. Figured out Peyton likes to
He wants to feel like he's in it.
Yes, he does.
Little shimmy, shake.
Clearing out with the three receivers on the right side. See if he can find Davante Adams here.
He does. Davante gets to the pay dirt.
We got a flag down.
I believe Jalen Ramsey and Tyreek were involved in. Now there's a little fake scrum brewing. Looking like the NBA.
By the way, Peyton said play 15. We looked it up here. Davante Adams, they cleared out on the right side, create space for him. And there's a little flip there at the end. There's the contact by Jalen Ramsey on Tyreek Hill.
I think Davante was worried he was going to get tackled inbounds. Tries to pitch it to Tyreek. Jalen didn't mean to blow up Tyreek Hill, but I think he had possession in the pylon.
The result of the play is a touchdown. After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense number 7. That foul is enforced on the try. The try is for 2.
All over.
Of the penalty here. Need this to tie it up. 8 seconds left in the half. There's Davante Adams, the hometown hero, picking up the 2 while he was wide open. I shifted a gear. Gino to Justin Jefferson. Flag plucked. Terry at the bottom. Since it was already thrown, you can rush. Gino, pick. Can take this the other direction for a tug. Derwin James of the Chargers gets tackled, and that's how the first half ends.
James after this.
Geno Smith in at quarterback for the NFC that had to lead for a large portion of the first half. Negotiating a contract. About to get a big bag.
Yeah.
With a completion to CeeDee Lamb, who had a remarkable...
That is incredible.
Well, they tried to write him off, Herbie. I don't know if you heard that. He did not write back. Hit some. Now we got some competitive edge kicking. Gino with a little pressure. Drops off to Davante. Flag football rules are different than... Oh, Kyle Juszczyk intercepts the snap. Smart play. So now Gino has all the time in the world. Flea flicker. Back to the fullback from Harvard. Shot put a football into the move the chain segment that's happening later today. That's a beautiful baby.
To Eli Manning for this play call. Direct snap, flip back to Gino. Nobody picks up Juszczyk. Easy read and a good throw again by Geno Smith.
Led him to this Pro Bowl. Oh, they go for it again. Juszczyk bobs the snap. Ball is down. That play is over. Derrick Henry next to him. Shot at Marshawn Lynch and Madden. Moving the ball methodically down the field here. Wide open Jamar Chase. Touchdown. 26-26. Chase with a gritty. Derrick Henry with a gritty. Agnew with a gritty. Hammy. And we're back.
Good find by Huntley. Jair Alexander just lets Chase go, and easy touchdown for the AFC.
Going for 1. Shot to Dawson Knox. 27-26 AFC. As they pick up the extra point. March around it with official Jason Gant. He'll own it, I assume, like most officials do. Drop off to Saquon.
Now they got to get to the yellow line here.
This is the game here. We have 3 flag football games. This is the first of the 3, obviously. CeeDee Lamb. Touchdown. Breaking tackles.
We got a flag down right at the 6-yard line.
Xavier Howard was trying to get the flag off of CeeDee Lamb.
I think he got it right at the line. Now we got another flag coming in. What a throw, by the way.
Holding.
Again.
Defense. That penalty's declined. Touchdown.
There's the hold right there.
Still has
from
a hold of
Derwin
him.
James.
But right there, boy, that was close. That effort by Howard, I thought he got him right close to the goal line. Maybe just must have just crossed the plane.
The athleticism here just to pluck that as C.D. Lamb is scooting in. Ball's in,
Oh, my
touchdown.
gosh.
NFC takes a 5-point lead with one second left. And all the post-play semantics. Saquon gets it. End around. Shuffle. Geno, shake, shimmy. Conversion good to TJ. The creativity out of the squad looks fantastic, as do the vibes, as they take a 6-point lead with 12 seconds to go in the game. Derrick Henry taking the snap so that Huntley can take his time. They bring pressure. Oh.
Ball hit the ground.
Game has come to a finish. The NFC and Eli Manning tie these Pro Bowl games up and get a crucial 6 points.